Hello, everyone. Welcome to the SCOOJ podcast. I don't know if you've seen the other videos, but I have this new series called SCOOJ GAB.
I hadn't seen it yet.
So, like, a GAB is basically like little rambles, kind of. Like, it doesn't have to be like a coherent, professional episode sort of thing. Like, if you ever watch our other one, it's just us, like, shooting this shit, basically. But yeah, today we wanted to talk about what is the best Quentin Tarantino film that he's directed.
I don't know. The very best, probably Pulp Fiction, I guess.
End of the video?
Huh?
End of the video?
Nah.
I'll preface by saying I haven't seen every one of his films, so.
Well, apparently I haven't either because I didn't know about that. What was Grindhouse? Which apparently that wasn't just him by himself, but
I think Grindhouse is just like a screening of Death Proof as well. Like it wasn't, because like it's like, see how Grindhouse or Death Proof is a part of that.
oh yeah.
So I think it's just like a showing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know what films are doing.
But I'll tell you that Death Proof isn't really that great.
So you did see it.
Yeah, and it's like basically like an hour and a half of a bunch of talking, and then like the very end is pretty good. Mm-hmm. It gets action. It's kind of like that other movie, that Hollywood movie, where like most of it's just kind of boring, and then it just gets good at the end.
Well, I wouldn't really say that Once Upon a Time is boring, per se.
I would.
Like, I mean, there are parts where it's just like it was unnecessarily long. It was like,
yeah, that's how Death Proof is.
It's almost like 3 hours long.
But they're just sitting there talking about on Death Proof. It's like this group of women. They're just talking about crap that just don't really matter, or it doesn't really. It just, I guess he's just trying to make it look real, I guess. Mm-hmm. But it's like they spend like an hour and a half just talking and drinking at a bar, and it's at the very beginning it shows basically what it's about is this guy he's a stuntman, and he made his car death proof for him, so like it don't matter, he could go like 200 miles and crash into something and it wouldn't hurt him because he's got it caged around on the inside. Mm-hmm. But the passenger seat is not death proof, so he picks women up, and starts driving like that recklessly and kills them, and basically, and then he makes it look like it was like at the very beginning of the movie, he goes to a bar and there's like 5 women that they're drinking, and he purposely doesn't drink, and then later on when they're driving, he wrecks into them like at 200 miles an hour and tries to make it like since they had alcohol in their system that it was their fault. And he killed them all. That's how he commits murders, like vehicular homicide. It's a pretty cool concept, but it just ain't really.
That doesn't really sound like a Tarantino film, though. Like that premise. Did it look? You know how he has like a particular style with the camera. Did it still look like one? I mean,
it felt like one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it was kind of like that too, because with Jackie Brown. Because I think what Tarantino is most known for is his realistic dialogue between characters, mm-hmm. and he likes to showcase that a lot. But I heard that, I haven't seen Jackie Brown, but I heard that it's like that to a fault. Like it's just a bunch of, like a hangout movie. I think he's even described it as like a hangout film.
Yeah, but Jackie Brown, I like Jackie Brown pretty good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people would put that like at their lowest.
I liked it.
Really?
Yeah.
What would you rank it above?
I'd definitely put it over Death Proof. I mean, I don't...
Death Proof just seems like a cheesy Grindhouse. I mean, it's part of the. It's called Grindhouse. The little.
I mean, if they would just condense it down into like a short film, then Death Proof would have been good. Mm-hmm. But he like made it into a 2-hour movie.
Oh gosh.
So hour and a half, 2 hour, whatever. I think it was over 2 hours.
Most of his films are like over 2 hours. I don't think he's made one that's like a typical feature length hour and a half.
I think he actually said he regretted making Death Proof. But anyway, it's still worth watching. At least once. It's just not the type of movie you'd really want to watch more than once unless you're just rewinding to the end.
Yeah, I mean, if you made good return on your investment on a film, I don't think you should ever regret one, maybe.
Yeah.
And that was like right before... Wait, when did Kill Bill come out? 2003?
I think so.
But it was like...
It says it right there, yeah.
Yeah, it was in between that and...
Well, it was 1997. Came out in 1997.
Yeah, so was this his second film ever, Jackie Brown?
No, I think Pulp Fiction was.
Oh, yeah, I see it now. So yeah, like Jackie Brown is like the... like right between like most people's favorite Tarantino films is Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill.
Well, I had actually seen that movie like on like just sitting there on Netflix for a long time. Jackie Brown.
Mm-hmm.
It just never seemed like anything I wanted to watch.
And now you can't like stream it anywhere.
I just watched it not too long ago.
That was on YouTube though, right?
No, it was on I think Amazon or one of those.
I just checked Amazon last night, and I even
they might have taken it off, but I mean I watched it about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago.
Oh, well, I remember I try to look for it because I try to do some preparation, with watching. Like I'm trying to get through all of his films just so I can log it into Letterboxd. I've seen 100% of his films.
Usually whenever you click on Google, okay, yeah, streaming options. Oh yeah, I guess it was on Pluto.
Pluto of all places has Jackie
I guess that's what I watched it on.
Where everywhere else it's like pay us $3 to rent this movie. But Pluto TV. Well,
was it Pluto though? I didn't think it was Pluto.
Look! It says watch free. Pluto TV.
I don't think I watched it on Pluto because if I ever do watch Pluto, it's just like I don't watch movies on there.
That is weird. But I guess I could finally watch it now.
Yeah.
Instead of having to bite the bullet and buy it.
And I thought Reservoir Dogs was really good. It's kind of like Hateful Eight. Mm-hmm. Kind of because it's like kind of like a mystery type movie. But well, I don't guess it's really a mystery kind of movie because I don't really.
It's not like a whodunit kind of thing, like trying to figure out like who the perpetrator is in a
I guess
scenario.
Like the first 30 minutes maybe, but I mean you find out pretty early that basically there's like I forget how many criminals, maybe like 10 or so, and they're basically none of them know. There's this mafia guy who arranges the job. None of them know each other, but the mafia guy knows all of them. Mm-hmm. There's only one guy he doesn't know that well, but he decides to put him on the job anyway, which was a mistake, obviously. But it's a diamond stealing job. So none of them know each other's names. They're all given. There's actually Breaking Bad was actually based off one part. Pinkman and Mr. White. Mm-hmm. There's actually a guy named Mr. Pink, Mr. White, and they get in a fight. They get in a fight and aiming the guns at each other like Mr. White and Pinkman do at one point. But
shoot me, I want you to. You want this?
I saw on a YouTube video that said that that was supposed to be pointing to that. But anyway, they each have their own little names. You got Mr. White, Mr. Pink, Mr. Yellow, Mr. Whatever. Anyway, when they get over to the job, it kind of just shows it in spurt, like, you know, mm-hmm. It shows like first it shows everybody at a table getting food, and then it shows like kind of it'll go like Mr. White, like it'll say the title screen, and it'll show kind of his little backstory up to getting that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Tarantino likes to do that, like the expositional, this is this character kind of title card. Yeah. Yeah,
and so you never really actually see them go into the warehouse to get the diamonds. You just see them about to go, and at one point you see everything goes wrong. There's cops everywhere shooting at them. They're all running away, trying to get away, and Mr. White and this one dude, the dude that plays in Pulp Fiction that robs the place.
Tim Roth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You at one point you just see him, the Tim Roth guy, he's shot and bleeding, and then Mr. White guy's trying to get him to safety. And then later it shows how it actually happened. They wind up robbing a car from this lady, and the lady actually shoots the guy, and then he shoots her. Anyway, the guy that gets shot, Tim Roth, he's an undercover cop, and he basically set everybody up. Anyway, it's a weird movie, but it's pretty good. And a lot of the guys get killed at the beginning because there's one guy, he's like a psycho, and when the alarm goes off, he just starts shooting most of the people he's working with. And
Joker style.
yeah, it's pretty good though. But anyway, there's no happy ending for anybody except for the guy, Mr. Pink. Well, I don't want to tell you the whole movie if you hadn't seen it.
What's it on? Hulu. I guess I had to start a free trial of that.
I probably talked about it too much. I probably shouldn't said that much about it.
Oh, you're fine. I mean, dude, even when like someone explains the story of a movie or something and they say spoilers, it still comes as a surprise to me when I watch the film. Like it's totally different than how I
imagined it.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't really have a problem with that.
Cool.
I thought for the longest time that the Reservoir Dogs, I didn't know it was a Tarantino film. I always thought it was like a Martin Scorsese film because it just like the poster reminded me of Goodfellas or something like that.
Yeah.
So I always like associated that with him, but little did I know it was a Tarantino's first directorial debut.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was his first one. It's probably like the shortest movie that he has, I think.
Yeah.
Because
I think I remember looking into that. So would you say like pretty damn good for your first directed movie?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm noticing now that it's like the same font and text as Django.
Yeah, I noticed that. I didn't really think about it, but
it's like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like Grindhouse.
Yeah, it's like sepia tone, and then Django's is black and white. Well, I mean, since I guess we should segue into that. What did you feel about Django?
Well, everybody I don't know of anybody who doesn't like Django.
I think I gave it a perfect score on Letterboxd. Really? I liked it a lot, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, there ain't really much you can say about that one that a bunch of people hadn't already said, I guess.
Yeah. Any negative thoughts about it? Like any?
Not really.
Like, to me, albeit I haven't seen all of his films, but I thought that one was like, it's still long, like he usually does, but the pacing was so good, it like breezed by.
Yeah.
It felt like a short film. Yeah. Not a short film, but like a short movie. Just the pacing was really good. There was always something going on, and how he did the camera work with like the zooms and stuff, like the pan ins were really cool.
Yeah.
And I especially like I forget his name, but the German guy. He was cool from Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
It's weird because he was the villain in Inglourious Bastards, and he's like the super nice, good guy in Django.
Yeah.
I have to watch Inglourious Bastards again because it's been a very long time since I've seen that.
It's the same thing with that one guy that we were talking about, the got shot in Reservoir Dogs. In the very next movie, he was an undercover cop in that movie. The very next movie, he's robbing the place.
Yeah.
At the very beginning of at the very beginning of the movie, pretty much.
But then Uma Thurman has black hair, and then Kill Bill, she has blonde hair.
Yeah.
Is that a good analogy too for the?
I guess.
Character changes, man.
And then freaking Samuel Jackson's in like half his movies. Yeah. He's in Jackie Brown too.
Yeah, I know that.
He's in Hateful Eight. He's in Django Unchained. He's in Pulp Fiction. He was actually in Kill Bill, one of the Kill Bills, but it was just a minor part. He was the piano player in the at the wedding. He was also in Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't think that's a Tarantino film.
Just thought I'd put that out there though. So see, that has the list.
Yeah, but it says partial, no, yes, no.
Yeah, but still, man, you can just look if you want to look at ones that just.
So I'm guessing that Four Rooms is like an anthology film because it says partially directed. So
he got one. Well, now I want to see that too.
It might suck. It was in 1995. Yeah, anthology black comedy. Those are like a hit or miss for me. like the 3 or 4 short films and one big movie kind of thing.
Yeah.
They can be good, but most of the time they're not.
Did you watch that Body Bags movie? It's pretty good.
Where's that at?
It's kind of off topic. It's not one of his.
It's like an anthology.
Yeah.
Is it that a John Carpenter film? Mm.
Yeah, I like it.
Partially directed Sin City.
Yeah, Sin City's really good. So see, Death Proof is a grindhouse. It's grindhouse Death Proof.
And we watched Hateful Eight together.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet until we screened it together. I like that one a lot. That one.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too, but a lot of people, I guess, don't like it.
It is certainly a slow burn at the beginning, like developing the characters. But I think like the performances are so good from Samuel and what's the other guy that's always in his movies too? From The Thing, Kurt Russell.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. Their performances are so good that it just carries the show. So even though it's like super slow at first, I think it's worth a while.
Kurt Russell was actually in Death Proof.
Death Proof.
He was the killer. He gets his butt beat at the end. It's pretty funny.
So it looks like his latest one was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I just watched that one. Just like literally hours ago. Not even days past.
I wonder when he's gonna come up with a new one. It was 4-year gap between Hateful Eight and Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It seems to be like that with all of his movies, like a 3 or 4. Well, that sucks. I mean, it was a good movie, but certainly not like the best note to keep you hanging on.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Death Proof mixed with Inglourious Basterds
because of
a lot of talking at the beginning, and then it changes history. Kind of like Inglourious Basterds changes how the history actually happened.
Yeah,
that's
also with the stuntman too. Like he's like.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, true. I didn't even think about that part. But
yeah, I thought Leo and Brad Pitt did a really good job.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to watch a movie about making movies, you know.
That was partially it, and I agree. Like some of that was a bit boring, but and like the excitement only like kicked up to at the very beginning. When Brad Trips is tripping and those hippies bust in. Yeah.
Well, honestly, I probably wouldn't have even watched it if it wasn't him that directed it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, it makes me like it a little bit better because it was him that directed it. I don't know. But, let's see. Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2.
Those are probably his magnum opus.
What is a magnum opus?
Like your best work you've ever done.
I don't know, maybe.
Or like your work that's held in the highest regard by everybody.
I would say that Pulp Fiction is, wouldn't you?
From like a kind of a film student perspective, I mean like as a mainstream audience, like even if you don't really know Tarantino all that well, you know what Kill Bill is.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, because when I was a kid, I watched the Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. I didn't even know. I probably heard his name before, but...
Yeah, like it's one of those names you hear, like Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
George Lucas, when you're a kid, you know a few directors, so you're not really heavy into films at that point. But
you don't really know them, but you heard their names.
Yeah. They're just such...
But yeah, I think Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 is really good.
Yeah.
Yes, like you said, everybody thinks that.
Yeah, I mean, name one person who dislikes Kill Bill.
What about the Kill Bill So this is what he was talking about, the Kill Bill Volume 3, which I don't think you could call it Kill Bill Volume 3. It'd be just called something else. But
yeah.
What I was reading about a year ago when he was talking about that was, you remember that little girl at the beginning? Whenever Beatrix kills the black lady and the little girl, her daughter, is sitting there and saw her kill her mom, and then you know how she says, if you want to do it when you're older, if you want to do anything about it, come find me or whatever.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like her growing up and getting revenge on her.
Oh, so it's like a side story.
Yeah, kind of. Because obviously you couldn't do a Kill Bill Volume 3 if Bill died already.
Right. See, I don't really. I'm not really on board with that idea. I'd rather him just like
Leave it alone.
leave it alone and just do a whole new property entirely. Unless you would, like, what else would you want to see a sequel to? Because he's not. He doesn't do sequels.
Death Proof.
Death Proof.
Yeah, I don't guess he does really. Since Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 were really just like one
Yeah, he
big-
considers them one movie, so
I think they were like filmed at the same time.
that they were literally. At least this is what Wes told me. They came out like Volume 1 came out one day, and then the very next day Volume 2 came out in theaters.
Definitely couldn't do a second Reservoir Dogs because everybody's pretty much dead.
So, same with the Hateful Eight. Everyone dead. You certainly could do Django, but I don't know if I'd want that story continued.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much got the happy ending.
You're right. Yeah, I mean, he's not known for sequels or hasn't really technically done a sequel, so I think you should just stay away from that. Just focus on, new properties.
It seems like he should be running out of ideas by now. It's been like 30 years.
Yeah, there's only so much you can take from. Thank you, computer. Hollywood, because a lot of his inspiration is like from Hollywood films, like old Hollywood films, very, very much shown in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But he made that because it's based on the Sharon Tate murders, and he's like very infatuated with Sharon Tate. So I heard that was like not his main incentive, but one of the incentives why he made the film. It's kind of like a love letter to his passions as a kid, sort of thing.
I wasn't that crazy about it. It was okay. Have you seen Natural Born Killers?
I saw bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I really like it. What are you doing? When did you get that phone?
Literally 2 years ago. You can tell by the cracks and well, you'll see the crack. Well, it's not very visible in this lighting, but they're there.
Let's see. So, what about Inglourious Bastards?
See, I have to rewatch that because it's been so long. Like the story has left my head.
I thought it was really good.
I just remember it was about badass Jews, basically
Pretty much
fighting Nazis,
There are some,
killing Hitler in that theater. I remember that scene.
There are some boring parts to it, but
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know from like my perspectives on movies nowadays, but when I watched it when I was much younger, I was like kind of bored. But that I was a kid, kids get bored if there's not like pretty colors or
yeah.
like a jumping cartoon character on the screen. I think we kind of went through all of his movies.
Well, we didn't like go extensively through them, but I mean, we at least mentioned most of them.
The title is "What is the best Tarantino film?"
Is that the title of this?
Yeah.
What's the best?
Yeah, we haven't drawn up that conclusion yet. We're still like
Well,
having an analysis over his whole filmography.
I would say that it's between Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill. Counting Kill Bill as one big thing.
Personally, for me, I do like those films a lot, but in recent memory, I really enjoyed Django and Hateful Eight.
Oh yeah, I guess you could throw Django Unchained in there too. I'm still just gonna say Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's such an iconic film.
Yeah, it's probably the one I watched over and over more times than any other one. I watched Django Unchained maybe 3 times over. Watched Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 maybe 4 times over. I don't even know how many times I watched Pulp Fiction over and over. Probably way too many times. So what'd you say yours was?
It's hard, but I think
That is Death Proof, isn't it?
yeah, it's Death Proof. It's Sin City, a partial directing.
I like Sin City. Though.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad, but I wouldn't call it a Tarantino film. I mean, it's really hard for me.
Oh, we didn't talk about From Dusk Till Dawn.
He didn't direct that.
I know, but I mean, it's still something he wrote the story.
He's
for.
not. Yeah, I watched it a long time ago with you, and I don't remember much from it, like vampires or some shit.
Yeah, pretty much. It was weird. It was definitely
George Clooney was a vampire hunter or something.
Yeah. Well, not purposely. It just kind of had no
Right.
choice. But
He became the vampire hunter.
he was just like some murderer robber guy that goes to Mexico, meets at a vampire bar. It's just like the whole movie just takes off in another direction all of a sudden.
It seems like
And then Cheech plays like 3 different parts in that movie.
like 3 different characters.
Yeah,
That's weird.
2 or 3.
It does seem like it would be a Tarantino flick with like a bar and people talking and some action in there too.
Yeah.
Throw all those elements into that, and yeah, Tarantino film basically. I think his most different would be Kill Bill.
It would have been cool if he actually would have directed Natural Born Killers and From Dusk Till Dawn along with Routnam.
It probably would have been radically different though.
Well, he wrote True Romance. I haven't seen that.
Looks like you haven't seen all of Tarantino's work.
Well, I've seen all of his movies that he directed.
That's all that matters, I guess.
And I've seen some of the stuff that he had stuff to do with, like Sin City,
Mm-hmm.
From Dusk Till Dawn, Natural Born Killers. He had something to do with Hostel too, but it's not showing that on here.
He was like a producer for that.
Yeah.
He saw something in Eli Roth, and Eli Roth went nowhere with his career.
Isn't that the guy that was... Who was Eli Roth?
He directed Hostel. I don't think he came back for part 2.
Wasn't he the Bear Jew guy?
Bear Jew.
On Inglourious Basterds, the Bear Jew?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in Inglourious Basterds. Yeah, I don't even think he came back for part 2, Hostel part 2. I don't know if he directed that one.
I don't know either. We have access to the internet as we speak.
That's true. I don't feel like looking it up.
Well, so did you ever pick one?
It's hard for me. I'll say Django.
How many stars do you give it out of how many stars?
I told you I gave it a perfect score,
that's
so
right, yeah.
5 stars. Yeah.
Mm.
I think I've given Kill Bill 4.5, and Pulp Fiction 4 stars. Hateful Eight I gave 4 stars. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood I gave 4 stars. So
Cool.
just going by my ranking, yeah, Django.
Yes, I guess we said just do something short. We'll just kind of talk about all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of feel like there's more stuff we could say, but I don't know.
What do you have to say?
A lot.
We'll spill it
A
out.
whole lot of nothing.
Whole lot of nothing.
Well, I guess there ain't really much left to say.
he's got some. That's like that. The headline for Napoleon Dynamite. He's out to prove that he's got nothing to prove. He's out to say that he's got nothing to say.
Well, we know it's covered Napoleon Dynamite.
No.
That was Quentin Tarantino too.
Yeah, that was Quentin Tarantino. I think he played
Pedro or something.
Yeah.
Played the grandma. Herself down.
Could look about the same. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll... Oh, yeah, hold up. Little Nicky, he was in Little Nicky.
As the blind guy. Best work he's done in film, I think.
Yeah, Little Nicky. Give that man the reward.
Oh, I guess we could talk a little bit more about like his sometimes he'll just like use the N-word when it's not really necessary.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Like,
also
like
the
90% of the movies.
also the feet fetish stuff. Foot fetish.
Oh yeah.
Like with Uma Thurman when she's like doing that, and there's a lot in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Sharon Tate's dirty feet on the theater chair.
Yeah, the M word is definitely used a lot.
Yeah, I remember he did it. He played a role in Pulp Fiction. He just says it.
It's like, yeah, like, why?
That's kind of racist, dude. Which I guess that was set in the 70s, wasn't it?
Judging by Samuel L. Jackson's hair, I'd say.
Because I mean, it still was pretty prevalent that people said the N-word in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah. I guess.
But still, it was still unnecessary.
Yeah. Pretty unnecessary.
But hey, Samuel Jackson said it's impossible for Tarantino to be racist, so.
And you can't argue with Samuel L. Jackson.
I wouldn't argue with him.
Say what again?
Have you seen him in that interview where the guy's interviewing Samuel Jackson?
And he thinks he's Lawrence Fishburne.
Well, that one's funny too, but he's like, say the N-word. Samuel to the white interviewer guy.
Why'd he tell him?
I don't know. Say it.
He gets sexual satisfaction.
Maybe so.
But
I'll have to show you that later. But yeah, that was funny. Lawrence Fishburne. What did she ask? Was it about the Matrix or something?
No, it was a guy. I forgot what he said. Yeah, pretty much. Quentin Tarantino says the N-word a lot.
Yeah. That's the final verdict.
He should just come out with a movie called The N-Word.
The N-word movie.
All right, well, what else do you have to say?
Nothing. Let's end it.
Okay.